Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner. We got quite the show today. Recapping the final tournament of the year, the Pro Tour Championship. We'll go over who won the points, who gets the Chick-fil-A, nom nom. Little power ranking final update. That's going to be a hot take segment.
That makes me so nervous.
And then a little Trevor's trivia to wrap it all up. But first, quick word from our sponsors. Cue haunted music. Michael Myers sure is scary, but the last thing you need is to be hairy this Halloween. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped launched their 4th generation performance package to make sure your pumpkins get the ultimate carving experience on their spooky day. Turn your bite-sized treat into a king-sized candy and join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCK to make the right call this spooky season. It's trick or trim. Ever tried trim your balls and it turns into a Freddy Krueger film?
Yes.
Well, luckily, Manscaped here to save the day and make sure you're feeling your best in costume. Unlock your confidence with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find the holy grail of men's grooming items. They've made it easy for you to upgrade your grooming routine. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, a total game changer to your men's hygiene arsenal. The Weed Whacker is a nose and ear hair trimmer that provides proprietary skin-safe technology that helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate little holes. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Make sure your pumpkins stay fresh. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code GRIPLOCKED. One word, GRIPLOCKED at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to your beautiful new Halloweeny with Manscaped.
Dressing up as a werewolf dressing up as a werewolf won't be an option this Halloween with Manscaped. That's good.
They should put that in there.
You should be the writer.
All right. The Pro Tour Championship has come and gone.
I'm
the season
so sad about the points.
Is over. Dun, dun, dun.
It hasn't hit me yet. It won't hit me until like
2 weeks from now, and we've
got Battle for Bedford this weekend, which is like
golf.
the biggest event of the year, anyways. But then after that, it's gonna be like, whoa, it's gonna hit me.
Yeah.
Once the grippies are over.
Once the grippies are over, it's gonna be real. That's when it gets real.
They pull the curtains.
Texas to the grippies.
Should we?
We probably should.
So we have this week. We're gonna obviously do the Pro Tour Championship recap. Next week's the Grippy Awards, and then after that starts the chaos that is the off-season Grip Lock. We've been hyping it up for months. It will live up to it. Don't worry.
It would actually be a really funny social media promo for the grippies if we did our own red carpet.
Heck yeah!
I think we're gonna do that.
We've got to have like everyone, like me, you, and Konner when we're walking into work, like have like the tunnel shot. Well, no, like the tunnel shot of like NFL players showing up
from behind. Oh yeah,
like walking in slow mo around the corner, like on your phone. Well, you'll see it on social. Don't worry. So the Pro Tour Championship started with the play-in, and then MPO had their round 1 quarter semis, finals, and spoiler alert, playoff. And then the FPO had play-in, quarter, semis, and finals.
Spoiler alert, no playoff.
No playoff for the FPO. But yeah, I mean, it was, as always, pretty electric event. I will say Nevin, I think, played well, but I don't think viewed well, if that makes sense.
No, let me give you a little summary of like what I watched of the coverage. This is how it would go. Okay, tee shot goes towards the trees. Camera switches. Disc is nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Brian, where did that shot land? Brian, he was a hero. That man was sprinting around like crazy. He knew where it went. But like it was basically like as if I was just on the phone with somebody asking them what happened, because that's what they were doing basically.
More or less.
Like you never saw where shots were landing because kicks are so crazy and the woods are so thick. And then Brian Earhart would just have to save the day and be like, yeah, that's where the shot landed.
Yeah.
It took all the suspense out of it because you were like watching, especially like right towards the end, you're watching them all on 17, and we're like, I don't know where anybody is in relation to the basket.
No, it was very hard to get. We had even played the course before.
Yeah.
And some of the greens and stuff I recognized, but I was watching it yesterday with Brody, and Brody was like telling me if it was a good shot or not while it was like mid-flight. And there were some shots that I'm like, that's great. And Brody like, nah, way too short. I'm like, how would I know?
It's so hard.
How the heck would I know? Like, it didn't hit a tree, so I assumed it was great.
The depth perception and like seeing, because like on camera, if you have, okay, so a good example is like on 17 when you're throwing into the woods from the open. When you have gaps where like there's an initial gap but there's trees in the background, you can't tell how close they are.
Yeah.
So like Paul throws that hyzer in there.
It looked like it was gonna smack trees.
Who knows?
All over
Yeah, it's like who knows? Like it's like a surprise if it hits a tree or not. So it just doesn't view well.
Well, I think
even though it is chaos.
Wooded golf wooded golf is something fascinating about our sport. I think it takes a very particular wooded course to play and film well.
I think you need open fairways, tight woods on the edges.
Yeah.
So that way, like, I like wood scrambling, but I think if you have too many trees in the fairway, that's what makes it really hard to film and spectate. But if you have a course, there's holes like it at Northwoods where like it's open fairway, and if you go off the fairway, it's like New London is like this.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot. I think that is like the happy compromise for now with like woods golf. Because like don't get me wrong, Nevin, cool course. Like they had a cool layout, and it provided very chaotic scoring, which is like as a spectator is entertaining. But at the end of the day, I don't really want to see guys hitting like the tree directly in front of them over and over again. And it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
Well, obviously, it wasn't their first choice to have the Pro Tour Championship here.
True. Also true.
So we got to keep that in the back of our minds. I'd be surprised if it came back to Nevin next year. FPO, the players that kind of made a run this year were Valerie Mandahano and Missy Gannon coming out of the quarters.
Yep.
Or was it out of the semis into the out of the quarters into the finals. So they got through a few different rounds. But in the end, no surprise here. Kristen Tatar takes it down. She was actually able to lay up. She took a 7 on the final hole, but that was because she had a 4-stroke lead.
That's nice.
And could afford to lay up and tap out. It was actually funny. They made her tap out putt the shot of the day on coverage. And it was just, I found it humorous. I was like, that's essentially like, it would be like in basketball if someone had like a 20-point lead. And like, here's the play of the day. And it's them dribbling the clock out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that wasn't really the play of the day.
I think
that was the end. That's
I think
what won it.
they must have forgot about it and were like, oh, just,
no, they do it every
just do
tournament.
that.
Every tournament, when final round, someone wins, they're like, shot of the day typically is the last putt. Like every time. And I'm like, side note, doesn't matter.
Maybe for sponsorship activation's sake, it's like good because like did they know a lot of people were watching it at that point?
It's like they mixed up, in Call of Duty.
No, because like it's after the coverage, they go back and they're like, this is the shot of the day.
Yeah,
and they could have shown me anything.
Yeah.
And they chose her drop in.
I was just trying to.
Doesn't
help
really
them out.
matter.
It's like
stupid.
in Call of Duty, whenever like they used to show like the
Final
final
kill,
but now
yeah.
they show the best play.
Yeah.
And
They
they got to
go. They need to go back to best play instead of final kill.
Kristen Tatar killed this season cash-wise. She actually broke the single-season cash record.
She made a killing Halloween special.
Yeah. It was obviously, it was broken shortly thereafter by who won MPO, but she was at $103,000 made on the course this year with missing 2 majors. She missed the European Open and she missed USWDGC.
Could have won another like 10 grand.
So
easily.
she could have. This is not a stretch to say. She probably, if she played the 2 majors, would have had the single season cash record.
Yeah.
Dang.
Because she lost it by $2 grand to Sir Ricky Wysocki,
She
who won.
a couple like she hasn't been outside of top 3 all year.
No, so like
So
if she
she
plays
would've,
good, that's insane.
statistically.
Like, it's not like obviously it is a what if, but it's not really a what if. It's like
It's a when
if she played the 2 tournaments, she would have had the single season cash record.
It's like an if but.
Yes. So very impressive season for Kristen Tatar. Unfortunately, not going to be the PDGA Player of the Year because that award should be taken seriously and never questioned.
Wait a second. Were you just making fun of the PDGA?
No, I
Okay.
would never.
I was just making sure.
Yeah. No, we expected this last week. You literally told us. You said last week or 2 weeks ago. You said be
Yeah.
prepared. She's not going to be Player of the Year. And I was like, well, no, she is Player of the Year. I don't care what the PDGA says. She's Player of the Year.
I prepared you.
Yeah. And I still don't care what the PDGA says. She was Player of the Year. And I don't think
Rebel.
anyone who can disagree with that statement.
I don't disagree with that statement.
Yeah, like she was the Player of the
And
Year.
if I can't, nobody can.
Let's go Statmando, and let's just go
Head to head.
head to head, Paige versus Kristen this year.
I did this last episode. Remember, man? Knock it off.
No. Well, no, but now this is the episode that was supposed to happen. This and the Grippies. You
I never
were a
went-
few weeks ahead.
I never went to Statmando.
You were too far ahead last episode. Now we can start questioning it, and the
Okay.
Grippies will make our final say.
Okay.
It's tough. Kristen's 8-3 against her with 5 wins. Paige only has 2, 5 second places. Paige only has 1, 100% top 10 versus 83%. And she beat her by 100 strokes this year. I think
Yeah.
it goes to Paige.
It is tough.
The red's bad. Sorry. I think it goes to Kristen.
It is tough that it's tough for Paige that her
That's a
2
good one
biggest
on her.
wins of the
One of her biggest wins.
one of her biggest wins.
European Open.
She wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
But what was the other one that she wasn't at? That Paige
She won 2 tournaments that Kristen was at. The Champions Cup,
Yeah.
which was a major, and Texas State's.
What was the other one she won? Other one she won that Kristen wasn't at, other than because I'm pretty sure she had 4 wins.
Let's see here. Paige Pierce. Paige won
Just sort by place real quick. I'm just
Texas State. Kristen was there. Champions Cup. Kristen was there. OTB Open and the Preserve. I don't think Kristen was at either of those.
so she's got 3 wins where Kristen won there. So
And then European Open.
so they have the same amount of wins overall, but Kristen wasn't at 3 of Paige's wins.
Paige has on the season,
So like,
if you don't count the C tier, she won 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm
5
counting it.
wins.
PDGA's counting it for player of the
PJ does
year.
count it. PJ does count. She did get some points there. So they both had 5 wins on the year, but Kristen beat Paige at all 5 of
Are
her.
they counting the,
Paige beat Kristen in only 2
Are
of
they
her
counting
5.
the tour championship for Kristen? Probably not.
No, it hasn't finalized yet.
So
no.
like that would even be like another little step up.
Yeah. And obviously Kristen didn't finish off the podium. So you can try to argue Paige is player of the year, but I think even Paige would say she's not player of the year.
I issue a challenge in the comments. Even if you don't believe it, try and argue Paige is player of the year.
Actually, even more so if you don't believe it.
Find
That'd
like
be
the
way
most,
funnier.
find like the most biased statistics in Paige's favor possible.
like when Kristen's not in the field, Paige was undefeated against
Like-
her.
Yes.
I want to see like books written in the comment section about why Paige should win, and then just a single sentence below it that says, "I'm just kidding."
That's funny. That's funny. So, anyways, Kristen Tatar takes it down, taking home $35,000. Owen Scoggins was able to secure 2nd place, and then Missy Gannon locked up the 3rd place on the final hole.
That's
So-
a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. A lot of money on the line there.
a lot of money.
And it was overall an exciting weekend. On MPO side, the only really one player made a run, Sir Isaac Robinson.
Sir Isaac Robinson.
I believe he came out of
That's
quarter.
funny.
I
He
believe he
get
came
knighted?
out of the quarterfinals. He
At
came
the
out of
round
the
table.
quarterfinals. So he
all
went
saw that
quarters,
coming.
semi, final, and went into a playoff for the win.
He really choked. He should have won, missing all his putts.
He did miss a lot of putts that he typically makes, but
He was
who
nervous.
can blame him?
He was nervous. Yeah,
He-
we all would have missed him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
Gannon
Except
Burr
Konner.
put up a fight. Gannon started kind of slow the final round, and then
Gannon got
Charge
robbed,
back.
dude. He should have made that roller needed to turn over. I was so upset.
that roller, first off, I needed it because I needed him to get to 8 birdies.
Oh.
Secondly, the roller, did you watch it, Connor?
Nope.
So they had this wall that went around the 18th green. 18 was a very hard hole to birdie.
Okay.
Basically, no one did all weekend except for Ricky found a way to do it twice because he's a freaking baller.
Because he throws
So
sidearms so
Gannon
far.
throws a shot slightly out of position, a little bit farther back than you'd ideally want to be. Throws a sick roller. The roller comes in. It's like going OB, but hits the wall, and then just rode the wall all the way to the green. So the OB line's like a foot off the wall. So all it has to do is just fall,
Yeah.
and it just lost momentum and just stayed against the wall.
So he like stayed leaning against
So he
the
was just
wall?
OB. Yeah,
Oh,
he was
that
OB with like a
sucks.
30-footer.
I didn't even realize
That
the OB
sucks.
came off the wall while I was watching it. So like it was when they said it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
I was like-
and if he would have birdied that hole, so if that stays in,
He would have been in the playoff.
he would have made it into the playoff. But
I
instead,
was
he
really rooting for
took
him.
the par.
What's the point? What's the point in having the walls if they're not actually there to prevent OBs? Or just for advertising?
Advertising,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's because like previously at some events, in some events I think they do on the wall, but like at
What?
Waco, for instance, some of the walls
According to Brody, I'm an idiot.
That was a real question.
at Waco, for instance,
They used to be used just for OB.
yeah, but if they're used for OB, then you throw a shot and it rolls away. Like sometimes a shot that should punish you and it hits the wall and stays in bounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to walls being used
Yeah,
for.
so now they pulled it off the wall. So if you throw a shot that should be punished, you are
They
still
started
punished, but you
Purely
still
just
have.
advertising.
They started
now.
doing that, like, that's why they do that with the fence on hole 2 at USDGC. Like, they pulled OB off it because people were just chucking rollers into the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they're
made it
trying
where
to-
rollers were OP.
They're trying to keep it away.
Because
from
like
that.
Gannon's disc with no wall was going out of bounds.
However, final
But-
round, we had 2 discs absolutely spring off of the fence and come back in bounds.
Also fair.
It's a play.
So then Ricky and Isaac Robinson go into a playoff. Ricky, first off, he threw a great drive in the regular round on 18, massive forehand, banged like a 30-foot putt. Then in the playoff, threw a slightly worse drive, I believe, but a better forehand into the exact same spot, and then banged the putt again. So he went, again, all weekend, hole 18. Let's actually look at the course stats. You can't do all weekend. Dang it. I would imagine hole 18 had to be one of the hardest holes in the course.
Nobody was birdieing it. I think they said.
Oh,
it
I
was,
guess it was just because so many pars.
I
so
think
it
they
wasn't
said it was like a
technically-
3% birdie rate.
Yeah, well, like
Or maybe that was 17.
let's just go with round one. That's when most people were in the field. and we go hole 18 was the hardest hole when the field was the biggest. There was one birdie. It looked like hole 1. Quarterfinals, there was also possibly one birdie. Yeah, so basically no one was birdieing this hole all weekend, and then Ricky goes back-to-back, bang, bang, birdie, birdie on the finals and the playoffs. So very impressive from Ricky. He then broke the record that was set by Kristen for most cash earned in a year by, I want to say, $2,000.
Wow.
He had her by a little more than $2,000, $2,500.
Good year for
So Ricky Wysocki now officially has the most earned in a season at about $105,000.
So Rick made like $1,100,000 this year.
Yeah, well, plus whatever his Bitcoin did.
That's true. Well,
Should we
wait a
check
second.
the Bitcoin tracker?
check his tracker.
Now that we're done with the season, Ricky, I think that was on online.
It's on Twitter.
Ricky Bitcoin bonus. Have they tweeted recently? They have not tweeted since March 28th.
Wow, slacking.
Well, I think it's because that's when it stopped. Like at that point, he had made $46,000. Well, let's just see. When did he buy it?
No, it was part of his contract, I thought.
So it was Ricky's bonus on January 4th. Let's just go January 1st Bitcoin price. Let's just look at the Bitcoin price.
Let's just look at the Bitcoin price. It always goes up.
Look at the
we'll just see.
price.
So
Come on, man.
year to date.
Gosh, it's so low right now.
So January 1st, it was $47,000. Okay, let's just do a little math here. Oh boy, 19.
I'm gonna put all of my savings into Bitcoin. How much money will $200 get you in Bitcoin?
More than it would have. More than it would have earlier.
So that makes up. So it's down. So 250.
It's at 19,000 right now. At one point, what was it, like 70K at one point?
So Ricky's Bitcoin's worth about 100,000 now. So he's basically lost like close to 150,000 in Bitcoin.
It'll
this
go
year.
back up though.
Sorry, Ricky.
So essentially, he's made 950,000 this year.
I think
because you got to counteract the.
I do have this like
so
crazy
it is
idea.
Kristen.
So it is Kristen.
I do have like I'm not even invested in Bitcoin, nor have I ever been, but I just have this like toxic idea that Bitcoin will just go back up eventually, and it just keeps going down.
I have some Bitcoin. I haven't checked it in a long time.
It might.
That's what I'm saying. Like
You should buy.
I bought it a while ago. I bought it at the wrong time. I'm re-downloading my Bitcoin app.
It is crazy to think though. Like right now, it's at 19,000, and I know this is how people get in trouble, but it was at 70,000 at its peak. If you bought in right now, one Bitcoin, and it surged like it did again, you might make $50,000.
I've lost $300
What in the world, you know?
in Bitcoin.
Dang.
But it also might go to $0.
Yeah,
and then you
could
may
go back
you
down.
lose
There was a
$19,000.
point where Bitcoin was $1 or less.
If Bitcoin ever gets that low again, people will buy it so hard that it'll shoot right back up.
I
And
don't
then
know
you sell
because
the
it'll probably be
next day.
such a slow decline that people will be terrified of it by the time it gets to $1. Because from
But you can't be terrified of it if you're only spending $1 per coin. That's
you
what I
still
mean.
can.
If you put $5 in it to get 5 Bitcoins, you can't be terrified of it.
I mean, you still could lose $5.
I'm just saying, like, if it got that low, I
That's
feel
like that's like half the Chick-fil-A lunch you owe me because let's talk about some points here.
Yeah.
I lost the bracket by a point to Konner.
So
But I was
Konner
up
is-
by.
so I
but
won
was
the
up-
bracket.
You did win the bracket.
I
I was
win.
up by so much that I still won by 40 points.
I had a perfect bracket.
So I ended the season with 207.5 points. Konner ended the season with 178, and Trevor ended the season with 150, meaning Trevor owes me Chick-fil-A, and Konner gets the joy of not having to buy Chick-fil-A.
nice.
So
How do you feel about that,
I'll
Trevor?
text you my order. Do you want to do it for lunch today? You feeling it tomorrow? When do you want to buy me it? I don't know, man. All right, well, I'll let you settle that.
How do you feel about that, Trevor? Let's get some words.
Well,
from you.
honestly, it just give me an excuse to eat Chick-fil-A at some point.
No, you're not allowed to have it whenever you
Was
buy
that a
one.
rule? Part of me feels like it was a rule that you couldn't buy Chick-fil-A for yourself. It might not have been a rule.
We might have to go back. I feel like I
Maybe.
remember
Are
that
we going back
happening.
to every episode?
Yeah, I was like, if somebody finds it,
I kind of feel like it was a rule that
I'll
you
hear it.
couldn't.
I remember
that
it
you
being
had to
a
buy
rule.
Chick-fil-A
That was-
just for a person. I don't know. I feel like we clarified it at some point.
I
Because I
think-
think
I
you said,
feel like
I
we
think you
did,
said this
but
exact same
I'd
thing.
like to see you try and enforce it.
I will.
He can.
As soon as you pull that sandwich out, I'm
That's the
slapping it
thing.
against the wall.
I'm gonna walk outside the premises.
That's the thing. He owns the premises.
I walk outside of them.
He
no,
was
I own
outside
that too.
Yeah.
221.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I paved
Dang
it.
it!
I paved
What
that
if I'm
road.
in my car?
I bought it.
You mean the car?
No!
You mean the taxes that go to
How
Hunter?
funny! How funny would it be if like you could buy just people's thing? Like I get in my car one day and Hunter's like, "Oh yeah, I bought that earlier."
No, have y'all ever seen? This is why we call it grip
He's
block
like,
because it
kicks
goes
me out.
off on tangents. Have y'all ever seen where I forget what it is, but there's something where I don't know if it's in the U.S. It might be a different country, but there's somewhere where no, it is the U.S. I'm pretty sure if people don't pay their tax
on the
bill
houses?
on like a house or
You can-
assets,
You can pay it
you
and
can
take
pay
over
the
the property.
taxes and then you own the property.
Yeah. You still have to, like, if they have mortgage, you still have to pay that, but you can own the property.
I think there's also technically like some kind of law. It might not be real anymore, but if you do the yard work and upkeep on a portion of land that's like adjacent to yours for a certain amount of years, eventually you own it.
Well, it's like squatting. That was a law. I don't know if it got overturned, but like there was like if you like lived in an abandoned place for X amount of time, it just became yours.
so I own my place then.
No, because you're in a lease agreement.
I'm just kidding.
I own your apartment.
I do own this office though.
That is
Whenever you guys leave,
yeah,
I
I've heard of
pretend like I'm
the
leaving, but
tax
then I just sleep in the
foreclosure
bathroom.
thing.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I've heard it's kind of like a little
That's
bit.
nothing to do with Ricky's Bitcoin.
I've heard it's a little bit of a scummy thing to do
Oh,
because
it's a
like
big, very scummy thing.
because
To
like
do.
yeah, you're basically like people that
Because it's
are
obviously
struggling.
someone who's struggling, and then you're just like, oh, let me be nice and pay your taxes. Gotcha. I own your house.
Yeah.
You owe me rent.
But it is a thing.
That's
People
how
do
I
be
bought your
doing it.
car.
How did we start talking about that?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
That's just, we
Chick-fil-A.
end up here
Oh,
places,
yeah.
man. But anyways,
So anyway, Trevor lost.
Trevor lost. Trevor owes me Chick-fil-A.
At least it's
That's
over
the
now,
season.
and next season will be a fresh start. At least I can it's done. Like because like I've been in third place like pretty much the entire year. I think.
Yeah.
So like it's been a long.
I think
year.
you have been the entire year.
No, I was in third for a little bit.
Yeah, I said.
You remember how electric it
Come
was at
back.
the beginning of the season whenever I was winning for that little bit?
It was
That
very
awesome.
electric.
That was electric.
This was the first year that, like, Isaac Robinson made a run, right? He got some momentum.
like a
he got to
jog.
the finals. But you had Ricky Paul Gannon 1-2-4 in the finals.
Yeah, it actually
Like this year, it actually felt like the person who had the most points coming into the year, coming into the tour championship, actually won the tour championship.
I think that's just like kind of a toss.
Well,
up.
it's a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less, because they were still. I will stand by. I still think they're at a disadvantage.
Who did we? Speaking of flipping the coin, who did we flip the coin on last time?
Ricky. At
Yeah, but
USDGC.
but then we did it again last week
on Kristen.
on Kristen.
Did we?
And she
And
said
she
she was
said
going to
she was
win.
gonna win.
No
There you go.
chance.
The coin's
dude.
coin
undefeated.
never
We are
lies.
2-0 and the season's over.
Do we want to go to Vegas? Do we want to flip for Vegas right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Who do we pick? Do we go
Me.
coin flip on? Do we go coin flip on?
Yeah, on
coin flip
Trevor.
on Kristen?
Oh
For
yeah, no,
Vegas?
no coin flip on me for
Trevor
win?
my B tier
Well, coin flip for you to cash.
to cash.
Does Trevor cash? The heads Trevor cashes, tails Trevor doesn't.
Come on.
Well, let Trevor pick.
Yeah, you pick.
Do you want to know how many people cash? Do you want to know that?
Yeah. How many people cash?
By the way, Brody is sitting like 2 feet from me, just watching the podcast right now.
Trevor,
would say-
do you want to be heads or tails? I'm about to flip it.
Heads means I cash.
Heads means Trevor cashes.
Hold on.
I have flipped it.
There are 14, maybe 15 people cash out of 36.
Those odds aren't that bad. The field gets a little bit weaker once you get past like the top.
Do you want to
people.
know what the coin said?
Yeah.
Tails. You do not cash.
Okay. That makes you feel a lot better.
man.
That is a bummer, but
Dang it.
The coin doesn't lie, so you might as well
the
not
coin's
show up.
probably not gonna lie. That
Yeah.
means the coin's gonna go 3-0 though. So I'm down to like lose for the
No,
coin.
you can't lose for the coin. I shouldn't have
No,
told him what it
dude.
said.
Don't
I'm a flip it again.
don't lose
No,
for the
no,
coin.
no,
Win
I'm
for the
flipping
coin,
again.
you know?
I'm
Is that,
flipping
that's
again.
against the rules.
Wait, what do you mean flip?
I'm
How does
flipping
that?
again, and I'm
That-
not telling Trevor.
That's
Trevor
against the
can't
rules.
know, 'cause
Do
Kristen
you really
didn't
think
know.
I'm gonna purposely lose for the
Yes.
sake of the coin?
Yes.
I would.
Okay, I'm not telling Trevor. I'm not telling anyone. I'll just tell you if the coin was
I
right.
feel the power of the coin. I can't tell if it's doing good or bad things to me though. I'll find out when I'm
You
there.
got
I
like a
guess.
tingle in your butt cheeks? or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
I'll tell you once
Yeah.
you get back.
Ooh.
Once you get back and we do your grip line
Okay.
episode a few weeks from now, I'll tell you what the coin said. Once we
Wow.
know if it's right or not.
Wow.
Okay.
But that's that. The coin's undefeated so far.
The coin is undefeated. I'm glad didn't we have something like this before that was like undefeated and then we
We need
lost
to get
it
a fish.
to like do picks for us. What was it? What was the name?
Larry.
Larry.
We don't have a good history of taking care of animals in this.
No.
Whoa.
Don't
keep it
bring
on
that
the DL.
up. Yeah.
So, anyways, the Pro Tour. Here's what I want to say about the Pro Tour. We were talking about. I think the last thing we were talking about was the format.
Yes.
It's chaos. It's entertaining. It's still. I don't know. It's tough because it is so entertaining. Like I don't think they're ever going to.
The only thing I don't like about it, the biggest thing I don't like about it, is the final day. It makes coverage feel like we stepped back 5 years because we're only watching 4 people.
That is true.
It makes it tough because like live coverage, what sucked about it previously and what I think got a lot of people's bad taste in their mouth for live coverage was that they only covered lead card. So you were only watching 4 people.
For spectators, though, that's great because they don't have to worry about covering 2 cards.
But then nowadays, you step into modern live coverage, you have like shot after shot after shot after shot, and like live coverage feels very fast.
What if they teed off FPO and MPO at the same time? Final day.
It would be hard to follow because then you're following 2 different storylines, which is what was also the problem previously when they did the combined
Sounds
thing.
like they got a bunch of issues.
Well, I think the issues are still all resolved by you do the stroke head start.
I say, here's how it works. Here's my proposal. Let's all give a proposal for the Tour Championship format. Here's my proposal.
I've done it 7 times.
So we go to a runway, like an aircraft runway.
I like it.
And you start at the beginning, and based on how many points advantage you have, you get that many feet worth of a head start. And then whoever gets to the end of the runway in the least amount of throws wins. And that's the Tour champion.
That's
So
fun.
Eagle wins.
Not
That's
necessarily. Not if he's starting way back because somebody else had a great season. They're like 600 feet ahead of him.
I mean, I still think
Think
that
about it.
Ricky, it's
Big
a 4-round event.
sponsorship all down the runway. Barbasol.
David Wiggins might win. Just takes him 2 throws.
D. Wiggs.
4-round
rig.
event.
Big rig.
You just get your
rig.
stroke
Big rig.
advantage based on your points. That's that.
Which one would be more fun to watch? Think.
Which one would actually decide a Tour champion?
All
That's
right.
the other thing is I
All right,
definitely
Hunter.
think
It was
the
a
Tour,
joke. You got me. I was joking.
Well, I know. The other thing was I think the Tour championship
I'm
should.
not joking. I stand by it.
Thank you.
I don't think the Tour championship should be at a fully wooded or fully open course.
You
I
want
do
the hybrid.
imagine what it was
I think it
like
needs
to
to
be
be
a
a mix.
spectator there.
They should play it at Augusta
I just
National.
how I want to know. I have
I
a
wasn't
friend that
saying
It didn't look like
I
there
have
was
a
that many
friend that
spectators
went-
there, by the
No,
way.
it didn't.
It looked kind of dead.
I have a friend that went, and I would like to. I need to text him and see how.
Well,
what it
I'm
is.
It probably
more
wasn't
saying-
that bad because there wasn't a lot of people there. It didn't
True.
seem like it.
I'm more saying, like,
You don't want like Woods players at the advantage or open players at the advantage.
yeah, like you want it to be a good mix.
I'd
Like
agree.
you want a course that's gonna let just the best disc golf. Like it's the playoff, it's the championship.
Sure.
You want it to be like
It's like a neutral field.
Yeah, like going into this week,
Don't want a home
everyone-
advantage.
Like a lot of people picked Jeremy Colling to come through.
Now here would be a crazy little
didn't,
twist.
but a lot of people
What if
picked
the
him.
number 1 seed got to pick the course every year, and it was like a big deal? It was like a signing day situation where he puts on the hat and it's got Idlewild chucked right on it.
That'd be electric.
Thank you. All right, so
I'm
one
down
of
for
my
that.
ideas worked.
I'm down for that.
Well, they get to choose.
I mean,
the
how
airstrip.
crazy
No,
would it be?
They choose next seasons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that way you have a full. So
Yeah.
the community can plan. But like right now, Ricky's like in a room and like
And
Monday
he's
he has a
like-
press conference. He comes out and announces where next year's
and
Tour
he's like
championship
picking
should be.
Emporia
That's a
Country
fun
Club.
It's kind of like
because Dynamic makes him
doesn't the previous Masters winner pick the
menu?
Menu.
at the meal. Yeah,
Yeah, same exact thing.
Same thing.
You just pick the course.
That needs to be I would love so much. So if Hunter's saying is at the Masters they have a dinner for like the qualified players, and the previous champion chooses the menu, and a lot of times it reflects that player, whether it be their culture, like if they're international, or if it's just like where they're from and within the states, like they're like what kind of foods they like. And you see everything from like fried chicken and cornbread to like some really really gourmet stuff based on what the player wants. And I would love to see that in disc golf because most of these guys like are on the road all the time. Like
Does your
eating out.
kitchen make pot brownies?
Like, I would just love Brody. What would be your meal?
Like a Nature Valley bar?
Give me a second to think about
Okay, he needs a second to think about it. What would your meal be?
Pizza and chicken tenders.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Absolutely.
how
Chicken tender
funny would
pizza.
that be? Because they
No.
write it on like a fancy menu and it'd just be like cheese pizza and chicken tenders,
And then we probably like have some brownie sundae for dessert.
brownie
Sounds
sundae,
delicious. It sounds. I want that right now.
Fazoli's breadsticks.
Fazoli's breadsticks. Okay,
That's fascinating. I haven't heard the name Fazoli's in a long time.
don't even-
Publix banana pudding for dessert.
Public
Publix
banana pudding. I think somebody had banana pudding.
I
at the
like private
Masters.
banana pudding better.
Yeah,
Konner still owes us a Dutch apple pie.
that is true. So that is, that
I don't
is
think
the
you can really
thing.
speak on dessert yet.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I'd probably go breakfast.
Oh,
breakfast. I like it.
Probably go like a breakfast buffet.
Yeah, breakfast quesadillas.
Holiday
In
Inn.
the Holiday Inn Express.
You got to have the breakfast
Called it
empanadas,
Holiday Inn
man.
Express. All right, back to some serious disc golf talk. That's what people
Yeah,
come
oh,
here
I'm
for.
pretty sure
People
that
come
was-
here.
that was pretty
People
serious to
come
me.
here for
Yeah.
serious
Enough about the breakfast food.
news broadcast.
Enough
What's
about the
happening
sun.
is like there's like a portal to the off-season
Yeah, we're
podcast, and we're
slipping
slipping through it.
It's trying to suck us in. We're just
You can
holding
edit
back,
that, right,
holding
Konner?
back.
Yeah, I will.
Make that a port. That can be the portal.
Yeah.
You ever
I
play
already
the
did
game?
it.
You already play the game portal?
Yeah, I've watched somebody play it.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump through that and have me pop back up right
Connor's
there,
just
okay?
gonna mask it and put like something criminal on the other side.
I'm probably not gonna do anything.
Probably not.
No.
I wouldn't expect you to.
The power ranking update, final one of the year.
This was where
This
you're
is
going to
it.
be for the rest of the year.
This is it. This locks them in.
That's tough. Is this what we already had before, or did you already edit it a little bit?
I haven't edited at all. This is where we're at.
Looks great. Well, looks pretty good. Like, it's a good
Well,
start.
we didn't do anything for USDGC.
I just mean like it's a good start.
This is a good start.
Yeah.
So, first place right now, number 1 in the world, we have Ricky Wysocki.
I'm okay with that.
We leave him there. I
Yeah,
like that.
I'm okay.
Number 2 in the world, we have Paul Macbeth.
So I think we jump Gannon over
I think
Paul.
we put Gann into 2 in the world. Because
Yeah.
this has to factor his USDGC win.
Right.
And
then I think
I'm
we
okay
go
with Paul being 3rd.
Right.
I think that's a fair spot.
Yeah, he had 2 good tournaments to finish out.
Simon Lizotte
He's
is
probably
4th.
He's probably bumping down.
I would agree. What did Matty O do recently?
I bet you he came in like 6th and 7th. No, thumbs down.
Tour championship.
Well,
Oh, I don't count the Tour Championship.
that's a tough one to factor in like heavily. Yeah, say he had a good
Matty
finish
O
at
is
USDGC.
5-2 against Simon since July.
That's a long time ago.
Dang.
That is.
Do you
so
want me to go
long
more
ago.
recent?
Yeah, we've got to.
How much more recent? How
I
much
would
more
go
recent
since
we
like
August?
August. Like that's so much further.
Matty O's 4-2.
See, it gets better. Now go to since September.
Okay.
Oh, Matty O's 4-2.
Yeah, Matty O's winning every time.
Oh, I was thinking Simon was.
No.
I did you say it backwards? I just hear it backwards. I think I heard it backwards.
Simon's
heard it
won
backwards. You said it
twice
right.
since. Oh yeah, he won Des Moines and Maple Hill. Simon
good.
does have the 2 times he beat Matty O, he won.
He
But
didn't play
Simon
good at
also
USDGC.
went 57th at USDGC, 51st at Green Mountain, 25th at Worlds, 26th at Ledgestone, and Matty O went 5th, 7th, 3rd, 2nd, 35th, 5th.
He just didn't get hot.
consistent. Matty O can't.
I think Matty O can go ahead of Simon.
Yeah.
We good with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I like that. I'm a big Matty fan over
Matthew O.
And then Simon or Calvin next.
But let's check Calvin because it might be Calvin but next.
But Simon has 2 wins in this stretch.
He does.
We have to factor wins in.
We do. Kind of.
Calvin's 4-2 against Simon. Only 2 times he lost is when they won. But Calvin, 10th place Ledgestone, 35th Des Moines, 6th Worlds, 14th Green Mountain, 26th MVP, 3rd USDGC.
Des Moines asterisk. Just remember that.
Why?
Because like the weather situation.
Simon won Des Moines.
Played 2 rounds in one day.
That is true. They did play 2 rounds
Brody
in one
is
day.
calling for an asterisk next to Des Moines.
Simon won it. They all played the same tournament. Simon won. Is what it
I'm
is.
fine with putting Simon ahead of Calvin.
I think we can leave
he
Simon
had
ahead
so
of
many
Calvin.
wins.
He did have a very big win season. I think we go Simon.
It'll
5th.
appease the Simon fans as well.
Yeah.
Going into the offseason, we've got to keep them at bay.
Do we go Calvin versus Kyle Klein real quick?
No.
I'm
Kyle Klein.
going to do it.
Don't do it.
I did it.
Just put them
They're
together.
3-3.
and
That's way closer than you thought, isn't it?
Probably.
I think you should just put him. What place are we fighting for right now?
And Kyle Klein has a higher top 10 percentage.
You got to put Calvin above.
When
Kyle
I'm
Klein.
looking at these, I like Kyle Klein way more
I think
than
we
Calvin.
just combine them at Calvin Klein.
Yes, there we go. Just make this bot Calvin Klein.
6th and 7th is both Calvin Klein.
Yes.
So Calvin Klein 6th and 7th.
Yes.
Do we want to do that for our last one?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's fine. Calvin Klein is 6th and 7th. Chris Dickerson
That
right
is
now we have 8th.
so funny. Like people are gonna think that we made a typo if we post that.
Chris Dickerson we have at 8th. I feel like Dickerson kind of
He's kind of
fell off.
Kind of trash.
We have Joel Freeman
Yeah.
behind him. So
And he
Remember how-
literally said if Tennessee beat Bama that he was gonna win the Pro Tour championship, or somebody told me that, and it didn't happen.
that definitely wasn't Dickerson that said it.
I'm pretty sure it was Dickerson that said it.
Joel Freeman.
Or no, maybe this was a
is-
different event.
Joel Freeman's 5-1 against Chris Dickerson since August.
Chris Dickerson disappointed me.
Dickerson.
I picked him
I like
for
Joel
like
Freeman
every
over him.
tournament.
I think we put Joel Freeman
that hurts
ahead
my
of Chris
soul.
Dickerson. I think we go Joel Freeman 8.
We got to look at Corey Ellis because he might be jumping a bunch.
Well, I
of
think we
these
go
guys.
Joel Freeman right now, and then next down, then I put Dickerson 9, and now we got to look at Corey Ellis versus Dickerson.
Dirty Corey, dude.
Is that his name? Is that his nickname?
Yeah.
Dirty Corey.
Everybody's nickname is that.
Dickerson's 4-2
Like
against
Chris
Corey.
Dickerson's nickname, Dirty Corey.
Corey Ellis went 5th at Ledgestone, 66th at Des Moines, 58th at Worlds, 22nd Green Mountain, 2nd at Maple Hill, 20. Yeah, no.
Never
Dickerson's better than Corey Ellis.
Dirty Corey.
So
Wait, are you
now
referring to-
we just have to look at Corey Ellis against the field and see if there's anyone we're missing.
The Dirty Field,
The Dirty Field.
also called Dirty
Maybe
Corey.
Isaac Robinson is going to be in that top 10 probably in new disc.
Isaac Robinson, where's Corey Ellis in this?
Oh.
He's 13th. So they have Nicholas Antela, That could be a good one.
Oh,
Isaac Robinson.
Sneaky Nick.
I think those are the only
Sneaky
two
Nick.
that are ahead.
Saint Nick.
Okay, let's go with Isaac Robinson over Corey Ellis right here. Let's look at that.
Who
Isaac
decided
Robinson
to
since
spell
August.
Isaac with 2 A's?
Isaac Robinson's 4-2 against Corey Ellis
How else would you spell it?
since August.
Isaac
Isaac
1A,
Robinson's looking a lot better
1A.
than Corey Ellis.
And
I think we
2A.
go.
Isaac.
Am I the only one talking about this
Sorry.
right now?
Sorry.
Okay, I think Isaac Robinson's ahead of Corey Ellis, so we got to go Isaac Robinson against Nicholas Antela.
Yes.
And Nicholas Antela versus, I think, Worlds is the only. Worlds is a big blemish for Nicholas. He's 3-2 against Isaac Robinson, but that's a big blemish against him.
Niklas.
I've been saying Nicholas this whole time, and no one's come after me. I think it sounds
We got
worse.
the, we
when
got
you
the
like,
last name right.
I think it's worse when you try to like say it in the accent of where they're from.
Niklas does not. That has nothing to do.
No, Niklas would be fine. But I'm saying like I'm not going to call out a commentator, but there's a commentator that every time they say a foreign name tries to say it in the accent of where they're from. Again, I'm not going to call out the
You
commentator.
got a 50-50 shot if you guess.
I'm not going to call out the commentator, but I feel like that's much worse than just saying Niklas.
You did better than the guy that was introducing the players on hole 1.
Niklas Antela. Antela,
Niklas.
baby.
He butcher it.
I called him Nicholas
I
the whole
think
time
I think we
watching.
got Niklas. I think we go Niklas over
How do you do that?
Isaac.
It's 4 people.
All right, I'm just making the decision myself then. Niklas is over.
I'm listening,
Isaac.
Hunter. I
I'm
agree.
glad, Connor. I'm glad you're on this show, man.
Thanks, man.
Niklas over Isaac.
I don't feel like I
Sneaky
saw
Nick.
Niklas's name except for during Withrop.
Niklas
During
Antela.
USDGC.
Well,
You're just ignoring him, man.
he came second
I?
at USDGC, 13th at Maple Hill, 8th at Green Mountain Championship.
Okay.
oh.
Okay, Niklas.
Oh wait, no, I was going Isaac over Niklas. Because
Oh my god.
well, because hear me out here.
Figure it out.
He's 3. All right, fine. Never mind. I'm not even gonna tell you what I decided. I'm not gonna tell you what I decided. It's just my list now. Apparently, I'm just the only one making decisions.
I agree
Here.
with your pick there.
You don't. No one knows it.
Isaac Robinson over Nicholas.
You don't know what I picked.
Niklas.
That's Trevor's list.
I'm
No.
So
looking
where
at
did you
it.
put Nicholas?
He'd be
He's
11.
gone. He's gonzo. Yeah. Do we do
FBO
like do we do like still receiving votes section?
No.
Where it,
Honorable mention.
FPO. I don't know if we. I mean, we might touch. Kristen Tatar first. Fine. Do not touch that. Owen Scoggins second. I like that still.
love it.
I will say Katrina Allen won throw.
Why
peak
did we
women's.
write Paige Fierce Pierce as her name? That's so
I don't know.
funny.
That was when she wasn't feeling fierce.
Paige Fierce Pierce.
Katrina Allen could easily sneak up in here. In the world rankings, Paige Pierce has dropped to 6th in the UDIS world rankings.
Oh,
It goes Kristen, Kat, Henna, Missy,
that's got to
Owen.
be her all-time low.
And you know what? I kind of like their list because I like Henna sneaking in here.
Oh snap!
I don't like
I
Evelina
definitely
in here
think
anymore.
Kat. needs a
Kat's got
job.
to be back in here. What has Katrina Allen done recently? She won throw pink. Has she done anything else around that? Okay, let's go since August. Same thing we did for the MPO. That was tough to get to. I wish you could just type that. Allen. And who am I going against?
You're going. Are you going against Paige? Or are you going against
Let's just go against Paige. I don't think I was going against anyone. I think I just wanted to see what Kat's done since August. Ooh. Oh.
1 in 5 against Paige?
Yeah, we can't. Kat's not in here. She won throw pink, an A tier.
I really feel like winning throw pink might get you to 5th place, though.
You think it gets her to 5th?
I think so.
I think it probably does.
Don't want to hear what you did everywhere else.
Not
Okay.
really. I feel like if
Okay.
you win throw pink, it might like to get you to 5th.
Well, let's just compare her to Natalie Ryan, who she's kicking out.
Well, let's just say. Let's
yeah,
just
but
say
based on what I just said, I'm not considering anything that happened before throw pink. Apparently,
No, she's better. She's beat Natalie Ryan more than Natalie Ryan beat her. So Kat,
Let's be consistent with our
Allen.
beliefs and just call throw pink
a major.
USWDGC.
it's a major.
Evelina Solonen we have in 4th. I think that's not right. I think we go Evelina versus Henna because I don't think Evelina's in the top 5.
yeah, that's whack.
I don't know what we were thinking back then. They're 3-3 against each other. You know what?
We are so smart.
we were ahead of our time. Is what we were.
We are great minds in disc golf.
One of these is Finnish Nationals. I think we throw that out the window.
If you were to
Didn't at
make
one
like a
point-
Mount Rushmore of the great minds of disc golf,
Didn't we have the ghost of Simon as one? For a
No,
while?
Eagle.
it was the Ghost of Eagle.
okay.
Do we like Henna? I like Henna.
What if we just put the entire country of Finland as
No,
a slot?
no. Henna has 3 tops.
Oh, but Calvin Klein's okay.
I didn't like it.
Trevor, now you're just being ridiculous.
All right, you know what? I'm making my own list
ridiculous.
again. I'm making my own list again. Whatever. Henna's fourth.
Like Nicholas.
Are we trying to make a list, or are we just gonna?
I'm sorry.
All right, Henna's
Having
fourth.
Brody right here giggling at me is not helping my situation.
It's not helping anything. We're trying to make a power ranking to end the season off. I want this list to be good. Henna's fourth. Do we leave Paige third?
I think so.
We like Paige.
Paige
Versus Henna. Henna's beating Paige more than Paige is beating Henna. So we go Paige fourth, Henna third.
Paige is beating Henna.
Henna's beating
Henna's beating
Paige
Paige
more than
more?
Paige is beating Henna.
Well, then that seems like Henna should be above her.
It does seem that way.
So I think we go
I'm
Cat
okay.
5, Paige 4,
Yeah.
Henna 3, Own 2, Kristen 1. Are we missing someone there? Missy.
Yeah, she had a
We got to go Missy. We got to go Missy versus Paige. Let's start Missy versus Paige.
in a row, I think.
Missy versus Paige since August.
Oh,
Missy's annihilating her. Okay, let's
Oh,
go Missy
no.
versus Henna since August.
What is Paige has really fallen off? Oh,
Henna is annihilating Missy. Okay. So realistically, what should happen, but we're counting that as a major.
we're taking Paige out. I'm okay with it.
But Paige is better than Kat by the record. It's how much is a major worth, I guess is what we should be asking ourselves.
How much is a major that isn't a major worth?
Yes.
A lot.
Okay.
There's your answer.
Because like Paige is 5-1 against Kat.
We can't be considered
Is
like the
a
hot. We're not the
major-
hot take kings
is-
if you just takes him out.
Let me just ask you this. Is a major worth for losing 4 times
head to head.
head to head?
I think it's worth like 10.
A major win. Okay. All right, then therefore we have Kristen Tatar ends number 1, Owen Scoggin ends number 2, Henna Blomroos ends 3rd, Missy Gannon ends 4th, Katrina Allen ends 5th.
I
And
gotta
no
say,
Paige.
like going into next season, that list, like if I were thinking of like the players to watch, that list makes sense to me. Like Paige really does not I would not be standing out as a player to watch next season.
I agree with that statement.
You guys think next season Paige is coming back with a vengeance, or
She's
do you think
retiring.
she's staying nonchalant?
She's got to stay nonchalant.
I don't think it's hard to imagine because her contract didn't get smaller.
I'll tell you this.
So like if it's tough for like I don't want to say this is what's going on with Paige, but it's hard to imagine it's not because like she lost her hunger. That's obvious, right? But I think you lose your hunger when you're well fed.
Kristen's gonna make so much money.
So
next
like
year.
realistically, Kristen could just bully the field again next year,
a
and if she
deep
bullies
sentence.
the field again, then I think Paige is kind of just gone.
I would say there are other players that are
dang.
more likely to get better rather than to take away Kristen's crown on some, not like overall, but on some events, more likely than like Paige.
Well, like look at her interviews towards the end of the season, right? She was constantly she admitted to like I don't think I'm the best player in the world. She talked about how she doesn't have this like drive to win. And it feels good. Those type of interviews. When that's your motive carrying into the offseason, it's hard to imagine that player having a killer offseason. Could it happen? Absolutely. Like she obviously could double down and like pop off, have a great offseason, come back an incredible player. But it's hard to imagine a player who's going into the offseason with that mindset, getting to the offseason and then like doubling down, focused, practice hard, come back better than Kristen. Like that's hard to imagine.
it's true.
I could be wrong.
No,
I
I-
wouldn't mind being wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
I understand that. I think it makes sense.
But I mean, the same can be said for a lot of people. Like Katrina Allen had an underwhelming season compared to what we probably would have expected last year.
Well, we would have expected after winning the first event of the year.
Yeah. Let me look at what her season was this year.
I'd be curious to see like
How many wins did Kat have this year? She won Vegas. She
Won, like,
won
3?
the Open in Belton, Idlewild, and then Throw Pink.
so 3 and a silver.
3, yeah, but 1 we're counting as a major.
The world counts it.
Yeah, it should be a major.
Should be a major. We got to keep it up. I'd be curious to know, like, if you took certain players that are like kind of volatile players, like Kat, and you tracked their statistics, like, but you broke it. You were able to find the points in the season, like break it into chunks, like this swing, this swing, this swing, and like, I'd just be curious to know, like, if we were able to find the correct chunks to break the season into that really like shifted things around, like where players would rank within those chunks of the season. Because like stuff happened at the beginning of the season that was just like, and I understand players find their stride.
Paul would be the number 1 player in the world at the end of the season every year.
I was saying the final chunk, like he is so much better. He's awful in the middle chunk.
Yeah, because
He's
like
pretty-
every year what
he's
happens is
decent
he
in the
starts
beginning.
off and you're like, oh yeah. Like Paul could have a dominant season. In the middle chunk, you're like, storyline. Where did Paul go? Paul's gone. And then the end of the year comes, and you're like, oh.
I would say there's only certain players
right
that
there.
like battle all the way through those chunks. Like Rick can
Find a way to like get himself into contention.
He
a lot
won
of
in
spots.
he won in Texas. I know he won some point.
Gannon
at the beginning
Burr
of the
did.
season.
He didn't win in those chunks, but he battled in those chunks.
Well, he was consistent. He is the most consistent player all year.
That's what I'm saying.
He had
Gannon
the-
Burr was.
He had the best finishing place average, I think,
Yeah.
of everybody.
Who do we think
Here's a
is
little
same?
side game for you. What do you think Kristen win probability is
Oh,
over
I didn't
Paige
look.
currently?
Oh, it's
Like-
got to be like 70%.
Yeah,
Konner?
There's no way it's lower than 70%.
75%. So 3 out of 4 tournaments they show up, you just says Kristen's going to win. Her dominance index is at 126.97 and Paige's is at 42.
Dang.
Factual.
I got a question.
I got an answer.
Quick, you can do it quick. Who do you think is fan favorite player of the year? Like, who do you think their like popularity grew the most this year and is now?
Grew the most or
Yeah.
is the highest?
Both. I would say both.
Grew the most, I would say Gannon's probably
Probably
grew the most.
Gannon.
Is the
Gannon's probably really
highest?
gained a following.
Who is the highest?
Do we think it's still Paul?
Yeah, it's definitely still Paul.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. That's all I need.
I would say like a player who I don't think
Simon would be
I
like.
would say Simon
there
is
as well.
Simon's a player who's gonna get votes for player of the year.
he should
that
win
isn't-
most improved player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Simon should win most improved player.
Well,
because he
halfway through the
had
season.
4 wins. No, he won 2 since August.
Oh dang.
Yeah. He had back-to-back wins, then went quiet, then came back with
Okay.
one Des Moines, and then MVP was literally like was out September, like just last month he won,
And this is his first season since his injury.
and first season as a father.
Dang.
Yeah.
Next
When I
season,
talked to him
look
at the
out.
beginning of this year, and he was kind of like, yeah, like, I don't really know. He was like so uncertain about like having a kid and like maybe not being able to tour all the time. And then he just won 4 events.
Yeah,
He had a very impressive year. I think like he was able to get his mind off of disc golf a little bit and take a different approach to the game. And there you go.
There we go.
now okay,
Dude's good at disc golf. He can throw the disc really well.
who is the
Like-
player? Well, let's just do this for each. This could be a grippy, but I don't think we should have a negative grippy like this. So I think we'll just ask it here.
What's it? It's like the Razzies. Isn't that what they do? Like the negative movie awards. I think it's called the
I don't know.
Razzies.
So who is the player in FPO and an MPO that was the biggest letdown this season, you think? Like if you're their
easily
sponsor,
Paige.
I think Kona Panis.
Kona.
Oh,
Definitely
Yeah, I kind of
Kona.
forgot about her.
And
F-
definitely
but-
Drew Gibson.
MPO, you think Drew? But Drew did have a strong season. Strong start, at least.
He had a win.
Yeah. What did Kevin Jones do this year?
Oh,
I was just scrolling down.
Kevin
I'm just
Jones
looking.
Kevin Jones would also be up there. Maybe Kevin Jones.
Let me look at what he did this year.
Maybe Chris Dickerson.
Chris Dickerson was the biggest letdown to me.
But I wouldn't say his
How
is
do you
that. I would
pick-
say probably Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones, his best finish was 3rd at Jonesboro.
He had Kevin Jones' finishes were okay, but like he just never really did anything. I remember he was in
He finished the season awfully. He went 28th, 22nd, 58th, 21st.
It's Drew Gibson. It gets me because he started out so well, and I really thought he was going to break out this season.
Yeah.
So like it definitely threw me off.
When he was on lead card for last year's USCGC, which also felt like kicked him off to where it's like, wow, Drew Gibson might be doing something
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He kind of lost all that momentum, but Kevin Jones has kind of been this way for a while
That's
now.
true. That's
to where
true.
like we're just waiting for it,
Where
waiting
is
for it, waiting
Drew?
for it.
Kevin Jones was supposed to be a
28.
future world champion.
28th.
That-
Drew Gibson's the biggest letdown.
That's
He
what I'm
is
saying.
28th
Yeah,
in
he
the
started
world at the end of the
He
season.
started the year. He was like 9th or 8th, I think.
But yeah, Drew Gibson was definitely in and he won the first event of the year. He was definitely in the top, and then just fell off face of the earth. Yeah, I would agree. I think Drew Gibson. What happened to him? What happened, Drew?
I don't know.
All right, well, it's time for the fan favorite segment, Sir Travis's trivia.
Okay.
Last one of the season.
Yeah. I think this
There'll
would-
be off season ones, but last one of the season. Something to be said
Wow.
about it.
something
Off
should be
season will be
said.
Trevor's trivia again.
Dang.
This is the last Travis's trivia.
Dang. I think it would be funny since Brody is here to do one that's kind of related to Brody.
Okay.
How tall is Brody Smith?
So basically, we're going to go through his season, and we're going to see who can guess the closest finishing place.
Oh,
Now, this is how we're
gosh.
going to do this time. Instead of going, we're going to try to keep it closer, where it's going to be 1 point awarded to whoever is. Brody, you're allowed to make facial reactions based on their guesses.
Let me.
Brody's on my
Let me
team.
give one lifeline.
We get a lifeline?
One lifeline?
Ask me what I think.
Okay.
You should know where you
I'm
finished.
gonna get.
You should know where you
I
finished.
don't want
Here's-
to ruin your
here's
game,
the
Trevor,
rules.
but I do not know. I'm not gonna know any of them.
You get 1 point per correct, and if you go over, automatic L unless both of you go over, and then it'll go back to closest.
Okay.
It's like if you go, like if over would
Better.
be No,
Worse.
I would say higher if you go higher than it actually was. So if he finished,
What do you mean by higher?
If he says 40th, if he actually finished in 40th and you say 42nd and Konner says third, Konner wins a point.
Okay.
Just to really spice it up.
That was the opposite direction to where I thought we were going.
All right,
Brody, don't be offended by my lack of knowledge in this.
very first tournament, the Las Vegas Challenge,
Who goes first, Konner or me?
his start to the season.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you
Konner?
can go.
I'm going to say 25th.
I don't feel like I remember you doing really bad. Maybe I'm going to go 22nd.
Can I guess?
Sure.
34th.
37th.
Dang.
Hunter takes the first point.
Good job, Hunter.
1 point,
Okay,
baby.
next event,
1 point, baby.
the Waco Charity Open.
Ah.
I'll give you both hints.
I'll say Waco, I was feeling like 40th. Is what I'm feeling.
All right, well, with that in mind, I'm going to go.
You can't
If
go
you-
over.
I say you're.
It's true.
If you're
Well,
smart,
if I'm
you go
smart,
41st.
then I'm going. Then
Smart,
I'll,
you go 41st.
all right, I am smart. I'm going 41st.
Yeah, the finish was
87.
83rd.
Oh.
Oh.
All
I
right.
didn't know how many players in the field.
It's okay, man. You'll give him next time.
Guesses. Like, all right, 1-1. And next we have the Open at Belton, a silver series.
I'll go first this time, Hunter.
Okay.
I don't have any idea, but I'm just going to see what it feels like. I'm just going to combine Brody's name and Belton. Brody at Belton. That feels like a 30th.
I feel like you played solid here. I'm going 15th.
Brody.
I want to say I was like in the hunt the first 2 rounds and then I blew up.
That's what I think. Because you were on lead card.
28th maybe?
16th.
Oh!
I almost had it on the
Dang,
dollar.
you almost had it on the dollar. Matt
On the
Dollar.
Matt Dollar.
I almost thumbered that thing like Matt Dollar.
Okay. Next we have 2-100. Next we have the Texas States.
Texas States. I don't feel good about this one. I'm going 28th.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to stick at 30.
36. What'd you say? 36th.
36.
Konner gets the point.
I get a
2-2.
point. You're pretty good at this. Were you there?
All right. Next we have the Music City Open, another silver series.
Is it Konner, you're first?
I'm
Connor's
first
first.
this time.
What?
Is that the one in Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brody and Nashville. I just love that combination. I'm going 50th.
I feel like you played okay. I'm gonna go 20th.
Why'd I go so high?
34th.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Silver Series.
34th.
Dang.
So I get a point there.
This is like 50th at
3-2.
I,
All right.
I did not take into account that it was
Next
Silver
we
Series.
have the Champions Cup.
All right, you go, Hunter.
I want to say it was solid. I'm gonna go 19th.
Is it better? Is it worse? I feel like it was solid too. I'm going 20th.
Yeah. 51st.
Oh, but I got the point.
3-3. It's all tied up still. That's why we're doing it this way.
Favorite course. Favorite course.
All right. Play it again. Jonesboro Open.
It's you, Konner.
With so much pressure, more pressure on me.
Think of the play style.
Open.
Open, no OB.
No OB really.
I'm gonna go. I don't know what that means. Are we sure it's my turn to go first?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go 16th.
I'll go 12th.
Okay.
25th.
Okay. All right.
Connor's up 4-3. Next we have the Dynamic Disc Open.
Third.
He did finish third.
You're allowed to get both guess it.
No. I guessed first. I should get the point.
No, it was third. We'll push 4-3.
That's bullcrap.
All right, Masters Cup, Silver Series.
It's 4-4. Konner?
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Masters Cup,
It's Silver Series.
Silver Series.
Suck it, Daylaw. Brody. That's my hint. Okay, I'm gonna say. Well, it's a Silver Series, so I know it's not gonna be too bad because he told me last time it's Silver Series. So I'm going 15th.
That's pretty close to the line. I'll go 10th.
25th.
Oh,
5-3.
suck it, Daylaw.
Well, 5-4.
I said that because I played one round where it was like the hot round.
Dang. Brody in
Okay.
a hot round at De La. It's hot out there, so.
You can't say a course is bad and then just play bad.
Next, we have the
that's
OTB
true.
Open.
That's a very good point.
I feel like he did okay there, but I don't remember much about it. It's me to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got my number in my head. So you go ahead.
20th.
I was going to say 30, but I'm going to keep it closer, and I'm going to say 22nd.
36th.
Okay.
You would have got it either way.
6-3.
6-4.
6-3.
6-4.
Okay. Next, we have the Portland Open.
Portland Open.
I'll give you a hint. Stupid Blue Lake.
Stupid Blue Lake. Oh, my gosh. Portland. Seriously, Portland?
Portlandia.
I'm going to go with 34th.
35th.
32nd.
Gosh darn it.
7-3.
Can't go the right way. 7-4, man. That's brutal.
All right, I'm just going to go with Konner. 7-4. I feel like your lead is good enough anyways. I just don't care anymore. Beaver State Fling, another Silver Series.
This is your turn.
Cold and wet.
Cold and wet.
Cold and
Brody's
wet.
worth nightmare. 35.
I'm going 36.
32nd.
Oh!
Suck it. All right, so that's like 7-7.
7-5.
Oh, I got him to go to 5 though.
Tiebreaker.
Yep, I can be broken. The Preserve Championship.
This is you,
my
Connor.
turn.
I think this is a
Preserve
top 10 for you, right?
Blow up. Took an 8 on a par 3.
But he could minor setback, major comeback.
That's
Remember,
exactly
this
what I was
is we're
thinking.
tied right now. This is for me to go up one.
Second place. Just kidding.
This is for me to go up one, so I'd be careful.
And I missed a birdie putt inside a circle in hole 1. And then took an 8. After playing the hole incorrectly. 3 times.
I do remember that. That was brutal.
25.
Yikes!
37th.
80th.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, I just knew I had to be worse than
7-6.
him. I could have said 26.
All right, Idlewild Open.
So 8-7, I'm up.
Nope, 7-6.
7-6. Idlewild. I'm glad I even got that point. Idlewild, man. Idlewild was Idlewild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Forehand this year.
He did have a forehand this year.
Idol is
Unfortunately,
wild.
it let him down 28th.
27th.
44th.
Come on.
7-7.
That is poop in the pants.
All right, next one.
Brown
European
poo-poo.
Open. We're running out of events here.
European Open.
I've got no idea.
You're first, buddy.
How many people are at the European Open?
Smaller field than normal.
I do
Ooh.
have a
So there's like
crucial
12 people
fact
there.
of information here that I'm holding to myself.
European Open, I'm going
Tough course. What is Brody tougher?
60th.
10th.
16th.
Oh! How many people are at European
8-7.
Open?
Silver Series.
Dadgummit, Connor, you dummy.
Wait, who gets the point there?
You do.
Okay, I forget which way the scoring was because I was ahead of it.
Yeah.
He qualified for USCGC there.
Ah!
That was my crucial nugget.
Great
I forgot
Lakes
about
So
that.
are we
Open.
technically tied?
Yes.
Tied.
D-Glow.
It's your turn.
It's my turn. Deagle, I feel like you did okay at. I'm going to go 25th.
Not enough OB. Is that true?
Connor? Connor?
Not enough OB.
What does that
Is it
mean?
better than the 25th or worse than 25th? That is the question.
25th's a pretty good line, I
I'm
feel
going
like.
for it. I believe in Brody. I'm going 24.
You took 9th.
Oh, suck it, Hunter.
Now you're back up.
Back
Now
up
we're
one.
back to tied.
Good, thank you for doing well.
Connor's
that
back up
tournament, Hunter. Brody, I mean.
All right, Ledgestone.
You first.
I have no idea.
Northwoods? Brody in the Woods?
Brody's Woods.
Brody's Woods.
Pretty good in the woods.
How's North Brody?
North Brody.
Or more south.
I don't want to talk about South Brody. I'm going to go with
I just broke my thumb and everyone's eardrum.
25th.
25th.
26th.
53rd.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty low.
Back to tie.
Back to tied,
I
baby.
told you guys I
Des
was
Moines Challenge.
Des Moines, I think he did okay at 15th.
You know what I
Too bad
talked
he
about
just
earlier?
said 15th.
The asterisks.
Oh, frick. I already said 15th.
16.
Said 15.
Okay,
I said
the
15.
answer is 83rd.
Oh!
That was pretty bad, Brody.
Is that
Connor's back up one.
Connor's up one. Worlds.
Valid. Worlds.
Oh.
Connor, it's your pick.
Oh, dang it. I don't remember. Dang it.
Your pick, Connor.
Okay.
Lock in here, baby. Come on.
Worlds. What did Brody finish at
Brody
Worlds?
Smith, world champion. It was back at DDO, same place. He did come in third there.
50th.
25th.
41st.
Heck yeah.
So I was close. So it wasn't dumb.
No, it wasn't dumb.
We're tied again.
Tied again. All right, GMC, only 3 left. GMC.
GMC.
I just want to be able to go first for USDGC.
GMC.
Made the cut by 1 shot. That's your hint.
That means nothing to me. It means it's better than bad.
39th.
Made the cut by 1 shot. Yeah, that was the 1 shot. He got 38th.
19th.
Yeah.
I forgot he shredded the final round. Dang it, that hurt me,
absolutely
Brody.
shredded it.
I was going to go
Connor
25th.
up?
I was
Is
going to
Connor-
go 25th like I was doing every other time. No,
Is Connor's up 1 now?
Connor's up 1 again.
All right, with 2 to go.
Or we're tied, depending on if you give me
Maple
third
Hill.
place.
Maple Hill. Maple Hill.
Shall I give Konner a hint or Hunter?
No, Hunter needs a hint right now.
Maple Hill is like 8 holers times 4.
Well, you just gave both of them a hint, but
Brody, Maple Hill. He does have a sweet tooth, Brody does. Maple sweet.
yes. Good line of thought.
I'm going 35th.
34th.
21st.
Heck yeah.
It's all tied up going
The
into
8 holers
USDGC.
got me.
Yeah, 8 holers times 4.
That meant nothing to me.
I was going to guess 32nd, but then Connor guessed 31st.
I didn't
USDGC.
even take into account that it was that. Dang it! Can I go first for this one? Well, we're just gonna say the same thing.
What is it?
USDGC for all the marbles.
I don't remember USDGC.
You're first.
I know I'm first. I don't remember it.
I remember it.
I know because.
I'm going to say for this one, since it's the decider, the over rule doesn't matter. Closest wins.
But
'Cause
Connor knows his finishing place.
I know it. I
maybe
win.
he thinks he does.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it.
He might not, though, and it'd be funny if he didn't.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Because, like, I mean,
Okay, Brody was close
I'd be
enough.
impressed if you did.
Brody was close enough to lead card, but he played bad the final round.
Think about his tea time.
I know he was close enough to lead card that you couldn't watch both rounds. But
Now I'm
then
nervous.
he
I might be
shot
wrong.
1 over the
That's what I'm
final
saying.
round.
Those are confident statements. If you're
I
wrong-
really thought I remembered the number like exactly.
I'm gonna go 29th.
He's 28th.
He was 28th.
Yeah.
Props
Come
to-
on, bro.
Props to Connor for remembering that.
Gosh, my logic got me so close.
The whole time I was watching
Gosh.
coverage, I was watching you just
Wow,
live for Brody.
that's big that you remembered that.
Man, so
That does-
Connor and I
It was
tied.
tied for 28th,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Wasn't it tied for
Tied for
28th?
28th.
All right, Connor,
So
we get it, man. You knew.
Can we count?
Yeah,
can
I'm
we,
a genius.
Can we count from the top down and see how many places down his name is?
No.
It might be more. It's probably more.
I'd be closer.
Well, maybe not, because it would only matter on how many people were.
I
tied
think
for
this whole
28.
game has to be thrown out.
I agree.
Too many technicalities.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It's too
agree.
many technicalities. Yeah,
I win.
Brody.
No,
wins.
Brody
he was
wins.
tied with Vino and Presnell for 28.
So he would have been in 30.
Hey, buddy,
he was
beat
tied
Greg
for-
Barsby.
So he would have been 30th. So
Yeah.
Was $5.
Dang, dude, that's a lot of some big stakes there.
Okay.
It's like a ribeye, tomahawk.
dang. Well, I'm proud of myself to gain 29th with my logic.
I'm very
I'm
proud,
proud
of
of
your
you.
logic.
If only I could have thrown Connor off.
Excellent.
If I would have said 28th, Connor's
More of a
heart
Pro
probably
Tools
would've
guy.
stopped.
It probably would have stopped. He would be dead.
Yeah. It'd been over.
He would be dead.
All right, well, there it is. That's Grip Lock this week. Next week, we got the Grippies. You're not going to want to miss. And then the off-season Grip Lock starts after that. You're
I say
definitely
for the
not gonna wanna miss.
Grippies, we go back to the beginning of the season, find takes that we said very strongly and aggressively at the beginning of the season, and see how they panned out.
We
at the
have our
Grippies.
top 20, our preseason top 20s. We'll look at that for the
Oh,
Grippies.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Trevor or I will get a Grippy for who had the more accurate preseason top 20.
Love it.
The Grippy for best analyst.
Yeah.
That's how what decides it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well,
I'm betting ours are both awful. Although I'm for sure, I know that at least I probably rated Gannon Burr really
I put
highly.
Gannon pretty up in there, I think.
Pretty up in there. All right.
But there's definitely some players that did not show up.
We'll
the
see
way I
at the
thought they were
Grippies.
doing. We'll see at
The Grippies are going to be excited. We're dressing up.
formal.
Yep.
It's going to be formal. Flash bulbs,
Fancy Friday.
red carpet,
Well, it's Monday.
Fresh Monday.
fresh Monday.
Fresh Monday.
That's going to
See
be
you at
fun.
the Grippies.
It's going to be fun. See you at the Grippies, everybody.